It was 2 years ago today that their father died in the Columbia County Jail. Now, two sons are suing the county, the local hospital, and other officials. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Johnette Magner.
And I'm Alex Anderson. They say county jail, hospital, and other officials ignored Randy Rogers' medical issues, contributing to his death. KTBS 3's Julie Parr goes in depth to bring us details of their wrongful death lawsuit.
63-year-old Randy Rogers died on July 8, 2022.
He was kind with his words. He was witty. He had a whole lot of advice that he'd given me over the years.
Randy Rogers Jr. believes his father's death was preventable.
I think if he had been provided that standard of care and seen the urgency, he would still be here.
Chicago-based attorney Stephen Weil is representing the family in the wrongful death lawsuit.
The system here failed Mr. Rogers in a major way. He was a man who was brought in on very minor charges, a failure to appear charge on traffic charges, on driving on a suspended license.
Weil said Rogers was not provided his medications during his incarceration, and jail staff did not get him to his doctor's appointments. Rogers had heart stent surgery only a month prior to his arrest. On the morning of July 8th, Rogers was taken to the hospital after falling 7 feet from his bunk bed and hitting his head. The family is suing Magnolia Regional Health System for medical malpractice issues.
He complains of chest pain at the hospital, but no one ever seems to check up on that. There's no evidence that anyone ever examined his chest, did an EKG, or any of the things you do for someone who complains of chest pain.
Once Rogers was back in jail, security video shows him complain of chest pain while experiencing a difficult time breathing. Weil says that the jail staff delayed getting Rogers to the hospital because they couldn't reach a supervisor for permission. Instead of getting care, Rogers died.
There's kind of an inexplicable hesitation for half an hour right around there to just do the simple thing and call 911 for a man with a history of heart trouble who's in an obvious medical crisis.
Weil says Rogers required care to make it out of the jail alive, but his rights were ignored.
Ideally, what you'd see is to have those policies changed. In whatever form that ends up being at the end of the day, that's the goal that the family has.
Rogers' son says that the video of his father's last moments inside the jail is too heartbreaking to watch.
Yeah, I'm a combat veteran. I've been around death. I've seen it. It just hits home quite a bit harder. Watching your father die when no one's around helping.
Rogers says his father needed only basic help to save his life.
We just want to see some justice and accountability. It's been pretty tragic year for us.
Julie Parr, KTBS 3 News.
KTBS 3 News reached out to the Columbia County Sheriff's Office and the Magnolia Hospital. So far, they have not responded to our request for comment.